Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is Sniffpod. Welcome back to my channel and what is the 11th episode of my Planet Zoo franchise mode series. So, in the last video, we made this red fox habitat, which I think looks really cool, and we got obviously the work zone behind it. I put a little drink shop at the front, as well as the Europe sign, and a couple different statues. So yeah, there's the drink shop there. Don't know why I pointed that out. But yeah, that's what we did last episode. But in today's video, we are going to be making a habitat for as one of the prize animals. I put a poll on my community section between the bonobo and the zebra. Got 7 votes, and all 7 of the votes ended up going to the bonobo. So that's what we're going to be making a habitat for today. Plain zebra will be next episode. I might do some interspecies enrichment and stuff. And Superbrand1234 suggested that we put it next to the wild dogs, so that's where we'll be putting it. So we'll find another bonobo later in the episode. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So yeah. Before I do anything else though, I do want to pay respects to Quandale Dingle, since if you didn't watch the last episode, she sort of died. That was one of the icons of the zoo. Rest in peace. Will always be missed. Definitely, probably one of the most well-known animals in this series because of the whole outro and everything. So, yeah, as I said, rest in peace, Quandale Dingle. Right, hi, it's Future Sniffpod here. So, at this point of the video, I kind of, the mic stops working with the recordings, and I didn't realise why until afterwards. But anyways, at the moment, I'm just doing my research on the bonobos, just their social groups, their offspring per mating event. So I found I was up to 10. So I went, oh, if I had 5 males and 5 females, I'd have about 5 children. So I'd need 1,355 square meters of space and 425 square meters of climbing area. So I gave them their climbing area, obviously. So that will come up in the speed build. And I mean, I just don't really have much to talk about for that. So yeah, I was basically just looking up some more information about that at that point, just that if guests can enter the habitat, which they couldn't. But anyways, yeah, enjoy the speed build, and I'll be back to you in a second. Alright, so yeah, here's the completed climbing frame. At this point in time, I didn't know it would be enough space for the bonobos. Luckily it is, but like I said, at this point I don't know that. I've yet to make a barrier for it, because I didn't exactly know what to put for it, but yeah, you can just see there's a bunch of like climbing stuff. I've added some shelter at the top of the climbing area, so hopefully that should be enough for if we get a full like group of bonobos. So we've got all that, and I just had a little bridge across and like little banisters and stuff. Just some nice little things to make it look a little bit better. But yeah, at this point, what I'm mainly trying to do is just try and sort out like a barrier to see how much space I'll be able to get. So as you can see, that's what I'm doing right now, just trying to make it. And then I go on to building a fence because I found out I made more than enough area, as always, because I'm me. And yeah, so at this point, I'm just trying to make like just a barrier for it. I've gone with the idea to just make like a sort of island thing. So since they can't swim over a certain distance and depth, I just put like a moat around it. I also added like a sort of wall just to make sure they don't climb over the part where the keepers go through. But yeah, here's me putting the fence around. It does take a while, as you can see, because it is actually quite a lot of area. So I will let you enjoy this, but before I do, I just want to say, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Last time I checked, only 15% of my viewers are actually subscribed, and I'm really close to 100 subscribers, so if you can, drop a sub. It'll really help me out. Anyways, yeah, that's it. That's my shameless plug. I'll see you in a couple of minutes once this is done. Alright, and at this bit, I'm just like digging down the terrain so I can make the moat I said about earlier. So I just start by digging down, then flattening the terrain. Then I ended up like widening the hole just to make sure that like it's actually enough for them to get over. So there's that now, just making sure it's big enough. Then I basically just smooth that out quite a lot. So the terrain will change soon, by the way, in terms of like the grass and sand. It's just while I'm making it. But anyways, yeah, there's me putting in the water and finding out I still have more than enough space. And yeah, that's the finished habitat, apart from the cover like plants and enrichment and things like that. So yeah, be back in a minute once I'm actually putting in the bonobos. Actually, no, I won't. Fuck it, I'm staying. I've put in some enrichment already, so I did that off camera, and yeah, there's not much to talk about at this point. So basically, just getting research done, and at this point, I'm actually gonna buy another bonobo to go with our female, who's in animal storage. So I've ended up finding a good one. It's the Calden one, which you can see. So I end up buying him, and I think, yeah, I do end up buying him. I can't really remember what I was doing. Anyways, yeah. So I end up buying him. So I put them both into quarantine, and I've made a work zone for them already. I did that off camera as well, just using the preset stuff. So yeah, I just got to hire some staff for that, and I would go to send them into uh, the quarantine, but then I realised that I did something stupid and put two vet surgeries instead of a trade centre. Because hey, let's be honest, it's not a sniff pod video without me being stupid. So anyways, yeah, I replaced the vet surgery with a trade centre, and then I send the bonobos to the quarantine in the bonobo work zone. So I wait for that to just all happen, and in the meantime, I just hire a keeper mechanic and vet, so I can add those to the bonobo work zone. So at this point, the game's still paused, but as soon as I unpause it, the caretakers come take them to the actual quarantine area. However, sad things do happen as our second icon of the zoo, Gort the capybara, ends up dying. So, you see him there just sleeping. He looks like he's dead, but he's not. I think he is. And then a couple seconds later, he ends up getting up, and my live reaction is I literally screamed down the mic. It's like, I'm going to recreate it for you guys. So he's just laying there, and I'm just like, oh god, he's dead, where's the vet? And, hold on, once I go back down there, it's like, oh, okay, he's actually dead now. And then it's like, oh my god, he's alive! Yeah, I properly screamed down the mic. I don't know why I do that. Sorry if I accidentally burst your eardrums from that. But yeah, at that point he'd actually died. The vet came to pick him up. So I thought the only logical thing to do, obviously, was to make a memorial for him. I wasn't originally going to make it unique to Quandale Dingles, but I ended up basically just sort of copying it over. I used the same plants and stuff. I also put down a capybara statue. So yeah, there's Quandale Dingles right there. So I thought I might as well put Gort next to it, because I mean, how could I not? They're literally the two icons, as I've said. But yeah, I'll let you enjoy me just building this. And yes, that's the memorials for both Gort and Quandale Dingle. Gone but never forgotten. Always be remembered through the outro, as I think I said earlier about Quandale Dingle's memorial. But yeah, rest in peace, Gort and Quandale. And anyways, after that happened, I was glad to see that both the bonobos had passed quarantine, so I was able to put them in their enclosure now, which is what's happening right now. Just gotta wait for the caretakers to just run back over, which does end up taking a little while because the zoo is getting pretty big at this point. So yeah, just waiting for them. There's one there. I think there is also another one there at that point. I can't remember though. Anyways, yeah, I was just seeing if people were actually coming over to the habitat. No, they're just going to the toilet. Also, there still aren't many people looking at the African wild dogs, and I don't know why. So, if you do know, then let me know in the description. Because, oh, in the comments, sorry. Just let me know why people aren't doing it and, like, aren't going there. And then I'll try and fix that. But anyways, here comes our first bonobo. It's just there. And, yeah, just like that, she arrives in the zoo. This was our reward bonobo, not the one we bought from the market. So, yeah. She's now in the zoo. I checked traversable area a little bit later, and she can't escape, so that's all good. Anyways, so what I have to do at this point is I'm just trying to find like terrain and plant coverage, which is what I get straight onto now. So I'm just trying to make so there's a bit less sand, so I end up just putting around a bunch of dirt, some rocks, some long short grass, just until there's no sand left. Then I start putting in some African plants. It's mainly just tropical, because bonobos live in tropical areas, so I added a bunch of like trees and stuff like that. And then I mean, eventually we did get quite a bit of plant coverage, and the bonobos still have plenty of space. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, this is us just looking around the space, just checking out their welfare. Their social group is a bit too small to begin with, but hopefully they'll be able to change in the future. So, and I do find out the bonobo is the most appealing habitat species, but then sadly, we have another animal dying. This is another important one because this is actually the first animal I got in this entire playthrough. This is Ngozi, the albino common warthog. So it was sad to see him go. I'll never forget the time he murdered his wife. Even though the memorial says she died of old age. So yeah, rest in peace, Ngozi. Luckily, the vet's there to pick him up before he dies. Because yeah, otherwise the guests would just be like, "Ew, dead animal." No. So yeah, as I said, rest in peace, Ngozi. At this point, I'm basically just putting around just African decorations. I just had some statues and buildings. Then I put in some plants. And then I also found out the bonobos have already made themselves at home. And one of them is pregnant. So we're going to have baby bonobos, which is really cool. And then I also find out that we got our first jaguar baby incoming. So that's also really cool. Glad to see that they're having babies as well. So yeah, we have quite a lot going on this episode. A lot in terms of like babies, staff management, deaths. Oh, additionally, I also emptied out the capybara habitat, and I bought two new ones. So these are Ricardo and Evita. I did originally change Ricardo's name to Gort the Second, and Evita's name I changed to Quandale Dingle the Second. However, I did decide to get rid of those names as I felt like it's just unoriginal, and yeah. However, the habitat will always be called the After Party. Just thought I should mention that. So yeah, I changed their names back. Except Evita's, I just spam random letters because I didn't remember. Anyways, after that, I basically just finished up the bonobo habitat by adding in donation boxes, the education boards, and the speakers. The education board and speaker is from a custom preset I made. Let me know if you want to see that, and I'll see if I can upload it to Steam Workshop, because I think it's quite cool. But yeah, that's pretty much everything to put in today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing. It would really help me out. Comment what animal you want to see after we finish the zebras, because we're going to do the zebras next episode. And then we're going to go back to just commenting what animal you want to see. Because, for example, I see a small area over there. I'm like, we could put like an aardvark there. Like down next to the bonobos and the wild dogs. So if you, for example, if you did want those, you can just comment, can we put an aardvark next to the bonobos and wild dogs? I'd be like, yeah, sure. But anyways, yeah. Comment what animal you want to see in the episode after the zebras. Share with friends and family, that would also really help me out. As I said, like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And look out for my other videos if you do decide to subscribe. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye. Okay, I pull up, hop out